In this video, I will show you how eating more meat in the right ways can literally level you up in so many different ways. It can make your physique and mind so much better. Because since I've started to eat a more animal-based diet and more meat in particular, everything about my health has increased. I'm recovering faster and better. I'm having better sleep. I'm falling into deep sleep faster. And I'm able to focus for longer periods of time with even more quality. So a little bit of background. Why is it this way? Well, the reason why we started to eat meat in the first place was because that was the main source of nutrient, and it has always tasted the best out of all things in nature. Hunter-gatherers and the concept of eating meat has existed in all cultures around the world. We have always eaten meat to thrive. This meant that we sometimes eat this raw and sometimes we eat this cooked. Fire in general hasn't really existed in all times, so when we had the favor of getting meat, we have hunted down an animal. Mostly throughout history, we actually ate that raw. Now, a little bit of specifics around this. We actually have the same guts as vultures, meaning we have the ability to eat rotten meat. You might think like, what the fuck is this, man? Well, personally, I have never eaten rotten meat, but there might actually be some benefits to this. I mean, when meat is fermented, there is other nutrients, there is other bacteria present, and these kind of bacteria and enzymes and derivatives of the bacteria might be super healthy for us. Personally, I've never eaten aged meat and this rotten kind of meat, but there are some influencers who are promoting this, and looking into the science, I actually do think it might be something that is super healthy for us. Even though I don't think I'm going to try, or I might try, but I probably won't stick to it, because it's just such a socially weird thing to do. But that's just a little bit of like fun fact. And you also have to realize that meat and animal products has the most nutrients if they are raw. Maybe the nutrients aren't that different, but the availability of the nutrients are actually increased if it is raw. Especially if we have raw liver and raw eggs. These two you could live off for the rest of your life, because these two things has all the nutrients and minerals that you would ever need. If you would eat just these things, you will never in your entire life get a nutrient deficiency, which is super great, because I personally love liver and I love eggs as well. So yeah, that's super nice. Sadly, I'm a little bit allergic to eggs, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, basically these two things are the core staples of an animal-based diet, or just muscle meats as well. But basically eating organs in today's day and age is kind of forgotten, which is sad because they have the most nutrients out of all things. Eggs are great, but I would say that liver are even better because they just have so many different nutrients. They have copper, for example, which is very rare nutrient in nature that aren't a lot of animal products or like products in nature at all that has copper as a derivative. Now, if you look at people who do not eat meat, they are those who do not put their body in a state of abundance, and they literally cause malnourishment, and this is vegans. It might look as a very clean diet overall to be a vegan, but you will lose out on so many different nutrients. Not only this, but you're going to include plant poisons in your diet as well, which might leach out certain nutrients from your body, even in combination with meat. So if you eat plants, especially leafy greens, with meat, you're going to drag out the benefits of meat when you are eating plants. And this is because oxalate acid, phytic acid, and one more acid that I'm not quite aware of at this moment. But basically having these different acids might cause you to have more nutrient deficiency in your body, because they literally drag out calcium, they drag out zinc, they drag out magnesium as well, and that isn't great. Only in small amounts. This shouldn't be over-exaggerated, but it is a true thing. Now, most plants in today's day and age are riddled with pesticides. If you eat berries, if you eat leafy greens, if you eat whatever, they're probably going to have some level of pesticides, and they aren't going to be as natural as you would like them to be. And that for that reason, you might want to include more meat in your diet, because that is the most neutral thing. Even though there might be grain-fed, it's still better to eat meat that is grain-fed than to eat plants that does not have any minerals like they used to have back in the day. And being a vegan isn't even that great for nature. You're going to remove so much farmland just to grow this one particular plant, which you could have had like cows or anything like that, which does actually give us more calories per like hectare of land. So yeah. And also, the dangers of not eating meat is that you will not get enough cholesterol. Cholesterol is essential in hormone production, and it's very important for testosterone, for example. Now, I spoke about the dangers of not eating meat, but basically, the positive things about eating meat is so great. Whenever you eat a lot of meat, you're much more easily going to enter ketosis, which is the state of you burning fat as an energy source instead of carbs. And this is super great for brain function and health in general. Ketosis is one of those things that have been marketed quite much on the internet, especially among like ketosis, the keto diet. I would not fall for the keto diet. I've tried it. I don't like it at all. I would stay with a little bit of carbs, like at least like 100 grams, 150 grams, but still eating more meat and eating more fat in general are going to put you in a further state of ketosis, and it's going to be good for your sleep because then you're not going to have like that much carbs in your bloodstream. So eating more meat is going to put you in a further state of ketosis, which is great if you want to elevate your levels of ketones in your blood into your brain. Now, meat and animal products has the most amount of micronutrients. It literally has everything. Like I told you before, liver and eggs has every single nutrient that you would ever need. Now combine this with muscle meats to add more protein, combine this with raw milk, you have more calcium, you have a growth hormone, more nutrients, more bacteria, more enzymes. This is literally the perfect combo. However, I would not only eat meat. I would eat some honey, I would add some amount of carbs because it's just so simple to do that. You're going to get more calories. When you do that, you're going to have some different more effects on your body, like more energy, more serotonin production and whatnot. So only eating meat is not ideal, at least for me. I feel like it's not really good for me. And meat also has protein, it has fats containing the most nutrients. If you have a fatty steak compared to a lean steak, the one that has the more nutrient is the one that is more fatty, because in the fats, that's where most of the nutrients are going to be. The fats is where the nutrients are carried. That's something to think about when you're like choosing between chicken, for example, or ground beef, because the fats is where it's the most like nutrients. Now, a small little side part is that enzymes, bacteria, and potential frequency. That meat contains enzymes, bacteria, a higher amount of frequency, water, and electrolytes. These are a little bit controversial. The enzymes might not be as relevant, the bacteria might be harmful, a bunch of people say. I would say that meat has a higher frequency because it's basically the most living thing except humans. So you might actually increase your frequency, your ability to increase abundance in your life, but that's a little bit controversial as well. If you do not cook your meat, you're going to have more water and more electrolytes in your meat because it's not going to be like steamed away when you cook it. So that's super great. Basically, meat, having an animal-based diet can make you thrive, and it can put you into ketosis. It's going to put your body into an abundance, and it's just a super great way to get everything that you need. And most importantly, if you want to get help with your diet, you want to get personal one-on-one coaching with me, just click the link down below and I can help you out with that. Thank you for watching.